What up, y'all? It's JD. It's early in the morning. Sun just now getting up in the sky. It's about 7, almost 8 o'clock. Anyway, we're getting back to part 7 on the El Camino build. The long anticipated. Well, it's finally coming to y'all. So what I want to do is do a recap. We got a bunch of parts, and so we're just going to recap. What we got is let's pull this off. What we put in here was a 6-liter. Customer brought it to me. It was basically a core. It needed full rebuild. So I said, hey, look, let's just go ahead and redo it all. Let's get it right. So what we did was we took a Gen 4 6-liter block. We went and had it machined, and they just prepped it, put some new put some new cam bearings in there. We went with the 706 truck heads. We had some 317s. I said, hey, let's go with the 706s. Make a little more compression. It's just a daily driver. So I said, I think you'll be a little more happy with that. So we went with the 706 heads. We got a Gen 3 crank, and we also have a LS9 cam in there. We relocated the cam sensor to the front so everything will match up. We're gonna go with like an LS1 aftermarket Dirty Dingo setup, so I'll show y'all that here in a second. We got these short tube headers on here which fit and have clearance. And then also it has these lines here. You're probably wondering, where's all the stuff at. Here's the AC and the heater lines. Customer went with the vintage air box, which was already installed. Sits right off in there, you can see. And then we also have a body harness on here, so we're wiring all of the wires in the dash. So that's coming along. This project was put after the part 6 though. It had to be put on a slight hold. Reason being is you see all these straps right here. This is what's holding this motor up, because there's nothing under. There's no cross member. So we said, well, let's just pick up a cross member at Summit. Oh no, you're gonna have to wait for that. So we went ahead and ordered a bunch of stuff. So let's go ahead and get this cover off of it. Take a look. So the customer brought over this. This is the headlights. And it's a pretty cool little black house. It's got the little rings in there. Kind of looks like a Challenger or something, but I think it'll look pretty cool. I just need to get the grill so I can see how everything's supposed to look. So there's the headlights. Then we have is a brake booster. And if you know about the 69 and Chevelles and the Impalas around that year, GM just had it straight mounted in it, so it has like a slant. Well, this one comes from these guys right here, mpbrakes.com, and it's a little pricey, but what it does is it has like this little step down in there, so you can see where it mounts here, and then it gets rid of that slant. It kind of steps it up. This here is a 9-inch brake booster, I'm sorry. It also has a master cylinder, which is also ready for rear wheel disc brakes. But this is a 9-inch master cylinder, a brake booster, and that allows for clearance to get above everything. And so what GM did was they slanted theirs. Well, this one just kind of starts here and it goes up and then it comes over. So we'll get into that as we do the install. What else we got here? Got some coil packs, some brand new coil packs that we're gonna put on there, so that way we're not having any misfires or anything like that. Those are some of the old parts. Here's the cross member. When I do my builds, I don't like using original cross members at all because they just don't work. Yeah, you can make them work, but my biggest issue with cross members is the exhaust clearance. You can get a stock cross member to work for your transmission. You can slide it back, drill a hole, something. You can make it work. Sometimes a little welding maybe. But you see on these aftermarkets, you see how they have these exhaust clearances. Stock cross members has one little cutout, and that's it. And it's just really hard to run long tubes or dual exhaust. stuff like that. So you always have to make it get over. Well, with these, you can run your pipe straight back. Just a lot simpler, a lot cleaner. So that's what we do here. Also, alternator. This is a 40K trans cooler. And then this is a LS1 fuel filter. And a lot of these parts, guys, you don't have to get this stuff all name brand. Like some of this stuff, if you eBay, everybody wants to knock it, but if you get the right distributors or the right suppliers, some of this stuff you can save money on. Some stuff you can't. Not everything, but some of this stuff you can save a lot of money on. I've used it 10 times over and it works fine. Never had an issue. So it just all depends. I'm not saying it's 100%, so you have to buy at your own risk. I have bought stuff off of eBay and it was a complete dud. I just switched it to another supplier and got it right. And then you save who you got it from. If they discontinue, good luck finding another supplier. Anyway, and then here's the Dirty Dingo brackets. This is the alternator and the power steering. Alternator on one side swings out, and the power steering and alternators on the other side. Then you have your go to digital dash. There's here's the brain for that. You got the piping for your vents, and then we got to finish up the wires of the install. So that's where we're at. We're gonna pick this up. We're also gonna get that gas tank dropped down too. We got to put a fuel pump in there. So we're gonna be jumping right back into this. I'll say maybe 2 more videos, and we'll have this thing completed. So maybe 3 more videos. Oh, and then also we got to had to pull the cylinder out because the reel was locked, no key. Pulled it out, so we're gonna put another cylinder in there, have a nice fresh key, and it's gonna be pretty good. This one's gonna make some good horsepower. It has a, I'm sorry, I didn't even talk about the trans, a 4L60 trans. It's built for stage 2. That way it can accommodate, because this 6.0, it's got the little bit higher compression bump, and it's got an LS9 cam, so it's gonna make decent power. When I say decent power, I'll probably put this thing right at a good solid 400, maybe a little more, but 400 horsepower is what I would rate it as, I guess you could say. And that's plenty for a daily drive. Someone who's not a hot rodder, you just want something that's making some good power, that's plenty. You know, when you get ready to step on that pedal, it's gonna do what it wants to do, and it's gonna cruise. All right, y'all, so stay tuned, we'll be back. All right.